Hey guys. Okay, so I'm still with Jello for a while, and I have repeats of the doctors coming, doing things to me. Jello still hits me with toe tingling, I guess you call it. For what seems like forever, because I think, man, this guy ever gonna leave, and I'm gonna go back to the other Jesus and start healing. So one day, eventually, I wake up. It's like another week or two goes by, and I've been with Jello for like at least a month and a half by now. And he's been doing this, and I'm like, you gotta have other things to do, right? You must have other things to do. And finally, he leaves, and he puts on his cape. He says he's leaving. His time is done. And he puts on his cape. And he starts walking away, strutting away like a peacock, right? Like a drama queen. And I'm laughing because he looks just like Jello Biafra, right? And he's acting like, and he's walking away. And he's walking back up to the. This is pretty interesting. This is what I got. He's walking back to the castle, and as he's walking towards the castle, he's walking, and he's strutting, right? And then I started laughing because I can't. I started laughing, and he stopped, right? He goes, "You want?" And I felt, "You want me to come back?" And I'm like, "Nope." And then he stared at me a couple more. Like, it was just a feeling, right? And he goes, "You want me to come back?" That was the feeling I got from him. I'm like, "Nope, I'm just laughing at you because you're strutting that way." And then he throws his cape around, starts strutting up the stairs. He's got his cape, and then the soldiers, not the soldiers, the other people, and the knights, like, they're all in armor and swords. They're in armor, man. It was crazy. Like back in, and then they walk up the stairs, and the doors, the big ass wooden doors, open up, and all the gold light comes out. And all of a sudden, I shifted to the stairs, and I'm looking in, and it's like a Rome arena, but it's huge, like, and it's like multi layers inside. Instead of having like seats going up, it had like multi layers going all the way up, like a tower, like floors. And people were living on all the floors. And I think what this represented was levels. These were levels inside this big realm. Now, I got to look at this before, when I was at the 8th tier. But I'm down here in like the 3rd or 4th tier, okay? And anyway, it was huge. You couldn't even see the people standing on the levels. It was like open levels. They were open. There was no railings. It was just open levels going up, 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 up. And so what was interesting was the whole castle was just like a representation. Like a representation and a doorway into this realm. And all the levels went on forever. There are certain levels of the astral world. Okay, you got the lower astral, and then you put a representation, like a coffee cup, which represents a castle. And then inside the doorway, you go in the doorway, and you open up into the realm, which has all the levels. Do you understand what I'm getting at? So it was like a visual representation doorway. The whole castle was like a doorway into this realm of Christianity or Christians. And the blackness was like the lower astral. But they took me out of like the lower astral and put me in this black space where it was just black. It was really cool. Like, I didn't understand it until later, until I got to the 8th tier, and then the Christ I'm working with now showed me what. Oh, by the way, do you see all the orbs flying around? It's crazy, man. I watched a couple of my videos, and there's orbs like flying all over. That it is I'm dumping energy all the time, like out of my head, energy. And I got Christ. He's healing me up. He's always around. And I got 3 spirit guides, 2 kids and my wife, and they're always coming, going, trying me to move the energy, right? And that's what they do 24 hours a day. And I don't hear them much anymore. Only when I got a lot of energy in my head. They use the energy and vibrate my head, and I let it go, and it goes away. That's where I'm at now. After 5-6 years. That's why you're seeing all these orbs flying around, because they're just energy balls. My body releasing energy, they're coming in, interacting with my innocence, and energy's being released, and they're zooming around. Sometimes the ghosts will come in, like I saw one that came, I saw a big energy orb go by, and then I reacted to it, and I'm like, whoa, that's cool. So anyway, I'm just saying that. It's like, damn, I couldn't believe there was so much. It's not dust, trust me, it's not dust. I got a lot of dust, but dust don't do that. Anyway, just thought I'd say that. I didn't know. So, that's what the castle is. That's what the castle was, right? It's a doorway into heaven. And the higher you go up, the closer you get to heaven. So you get to work your way up the levels. Okay, so with that, the other Christ takes over. And what he does is, he stuck me in this thing for a long, long time. He stuck me in like a room. I called it the barn, for lack of a better word. It looked like the inside of a barn. And he sealed me off from the rest. So all I could see was him. I could see the kids and my wife, and that was it. And eventually, what this guy started doing was, he gave me a bunch of orders. He said, okay, now for you to heal, this is what you got to do for the rest of your life. He goes, you can only talk to me when I'm inside you, okay? You can only talk to me, period. If you're going to talk, you talk to me, and that's it. He goes, you mentally, which is a whole different thing from what my innocence is doing. But I ain't got my innocence yet, okay? But he just said in my ego, you just talk to me. You don't talk to your wife, you don't talk to the kids. And he told the kids and the wife that. And he goes, and that's the way it's going to be. Now, I didn't know exactly what was going on, but I said, okay, I'll try my best. Okay? And he goes, every time it gets loud and they're yelling at you, you release energy. You sleep. Now, when you check out and you totally take 5 Advil or take 2 Advil and you're like mud, okay? You feel like mud. You can't even move. You're just like, it's like meditation. What that does is you release all your stress. It comes out your head. Now, this is where it gets crazy, but I want to get into the crazy in the next video. Or the next couple videos later, because there's a lot. I gotta do diagrams and stuff. I'm gonna try to explain it. I still don't know the skins, but he said what you gotta do is sleep. It's called sleep when you meditate, which is totally shutting down your muscles, shutting down and letting the energy come out. Because you let the energy come out of your head, it shoots out like a volcano. Because you let the energy go out and you don't talk. Because when you talk to them, it's reinforcing it, it's bringing them back in. The spirits. I'm like, okay. He goes, you don't talk. You keep releasing them. Let them go, let them go, let them go. I'm okay. And so that's what I'm trying to do. And it took years to learn this, like, on different levels, okay? I didn't know, I thought there was just one mental one. I decided to let them go mentally and it was over. Nope. Whole different ball game. So eventually, I'm in this thing, and I'm in this barn for like 2-3 weeks, and I'm losing it. And what I mean by that is, when I go to bed at night, my spirit, my soul, is tied down, right? Tied in this barn. And there's a lot to it, man. There's a lot to it. I don't know where to start first. So I'm tied down in this barn. And he ties like fishing line to your neck, to your legs, to your spine, and it goes off and sticks to the side of the barn, okay? And your soul is hanging, right? Because you're healing. And I'm all chopped up. All my skins are destroyed. They're not even in me. I don't even have any skins. But I didn't know nothing about nothing. I didn't know skins. And finally one day I see these things. And so I just wake up and I imagined I had a knife and I start cutting them off me, right? And I'm pulling them out because it's not natural, right? I just start pulling them out. And he goes, no, don't fucking do that, jeez. And as I'm doing that, I'm ripping the little bit of membrane skins that I got left. And they start bleeding, the energy. And the energy hurts when it gets to your head. It's like a mild migraine stuck in your brain. And it's called bleeding. When you rip your skin, energy comes out of that spot. Like that. Like smoke. But it's thick, like, I don't know how to describe it. But anyway, it's like, they call it bleeding. You're bleeding, you're bleeding. Oh, shit. But anyway, so he's got to come in and he stitches up. And he came 100 times to stitch me up. And the doctors came 100 times, and I'd flip out because when I go to bed at night, and I can't astral travel. I'm not free to do anything. I have to sit in this barn and heal. Well, I've been there for 2 weeks, and I'm used to going out. When I go to bed at night, I check out, and I'm going to see my friends. I'm going to hang out. I'm going to explore Bigfoot. I'm going to do things. That's what happens when I sleep. I go and do things. I astral travel. No more of that. He tied me down. Oh, fuck. Brutal. And he wraps it around your crotch, your leg. He has 2 wires around your legs. They go around right where your hip bone joins your leg bone joins your hip. Right in that joint, he ties a wire around that, and it comes out. And it's always irritating your bag, right? Your nuts, your groin, and it's like a constant tingle, 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 and it's constantly tingling. Okay. It's constantly on both, and I'm like, I can't even sleep because it's tingling so much. I'm like, you gotta get rid of these things, and you can't. You gotta fucking heal. And I'm like, oh, it drives you nuts. So you go to sleep, and every time you go to astral travel, you go, and the wires hold you. You can't go anywhere. So my whole dream, because when I'll go out and I'll get messing around, right? And I get hurt because I got no skins, right? In the ethereal astral plane, I got no skins. So I'm wide open, like literally wide open. So if I go messing and run into a bad guy and he punches me, I'm done, right? So Christ has got me locked up in this barn. And I go nuts. I lose it. And this is where, but I'm in this barn for so long. Okay. And this is where it gets really trippy. A lot of crazy stuff happens here. And I don't know what comes first in the events of this next episode. But it happens. So I'm just going to say it. Some things might happen earlier or later. I don't know. I can't remember. But it's all blurred in. So I lose it. I rip off all the skins. And I finally get out of the barn. And I'm off in the blackness. And Jesus lets me go. He'll be back. Sort of thing, right? I'm like, yeah, whatever. I'm out of here. So I'm floating around the blackness for like days. And I cut all the wires off me. I ripped them out, and I'm bleeding all over the place. And I just got frustrated. I need to get out of there, right? And also, I have the noise in my head. The are talking to me. The kids and the wife are talking to me. And I'm floating around. It's not the first time I do this escape thing. I do it like 4 or 5 times. This is the first time. And so I'm out there. And all of a sudden, I don't know what, I'm floating around, I'm doing something. Next thing I know, I ran into what I thought was the Christ I was working with. And so I'm working with this Christ. Like, I'm not working with him. He's around. He keeps, hey, are you ready to come back? You ready to come back? And he's like watching me. This is what I'm thinking in my head. I'm really confused because I'm trying to figure out. Days go by, okay? When I'm talking like this, these are days going by. And so I'm floating around in blackness. This other Christ comes, which I thought was this other Jesus comes, which I thought was the other Jesus that had me locked up in the barn, but it wasn't. It was a different Jesus. And I'm like, fuck. And so I didn't know it was a different Jesus. I just thought it was the same one as always. And so I'm working, I'm hanging out, and I'm like, no, I don't want to go back. I don't want to go back. And all this stuff. But anyways, he's trying to get me to go back with him. And I'm like, no, I don't want to go back. And I don't know what happened, but he got forceful and was trying to take me back or something. And I'm like, get the fuck out of here, right? Leave me alone. I'm fucking confused and everything. I don't know what the fuck's going on. So I push him away. And just then, I don't know, everything went. It was weird. I don't fully understand what happened. I'm with, and I just sort of like tune into him, or he tunes into me, and we just go face to face. And he goes, I fucking had enough of your bullshit. And he reaches out, he goes to reach out, and I know what he's going to do, and I just feel him targeting my inner light. And, hold on, just before this happened, okay, I was out floating in the blackness, and I was with the Jesus kept approaching me, okay, and one night I was having a nightmare. This is just before he targeted my inner light. I was having a nightmare or something, and I woke up going, Jesus, Jesus, I was screaming, Jesus, 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 and all of a sudden, as I was screaming for Jesus, this, out of nowhere comes this big giant sphere. It was just like a bubble, but it was a bubble, and it came up to me, right, and if it was vibrating, it was going like vibrating, right, like that, and it had, like, you know how amoeba in the water moves? It has a little thing, it moves like that. Well, this bubble had like little protrusions popping out, like bendies, all around. And it came up, and it was vibrating like really, really fast. And I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? And I didn't know what. And all of a sudden, and it was like, but every time it vibrated, one of these little bendies would come out. A bendy, like, here's a, pretend the plastic bag is the bubble, okay? A bendy would be something like that. And it would go, and it would come out there, and it would come out there, and it would come out there. Bendy. So it was like vibrating. And all these little things would come out. Not far, it was just like, I don't know how to explain it. But anyway, if I can make like a video, I don't know how to do it. These bendies were coming out, and it was vibrating, and I screamed for Jesus, and this thing showed up, and it's a big bubble. And all of a sudden, he goes, what, what's the matter, what's the matter, what's the matter? And all of a sudden, I'm looking at it, and all of a sudden a face appears in the bubble. And the whole thing's going, right? And I'm like, holy fuck. And I just went, and I pushed it away, right? And he's like, what the hell are you doing? And I go, what the fuck is that? And he goes, it's me. And I'm going, you're a big fucking bubble. It's vibrating. And he goes, well, I don't always have to take the form of a fucking human. And I'm like, are you kidding me? You're Jesus. You don't know a fucking bubble boy, right? And that kind of pissed him off. And so he changed back. I didn't see him change. I'm like, get the fuck out. It buzzed away. So I think the next day after that, I'm thinking, this is not the normal kind of Jesus, right? But what do I know? All right, this is all fucking new to me. And then all of a sudden, he comes back. I get pissed off at him, right? And we do that whole thing where I just said, we sort of like looked at each other. And he goes, you don't fucking tell me. I told him to fuck off. Or get the fuck out of here. And he goes, you don't fucking tell me that. And all of a sudden I felt, and he started going for my inner light to grab it. And he didn't actually do it. And just as he was about to grab my inner light, all of a sudden I hear, he goes to grab my inner light, and I hear, mommy, 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 mommy. And I look down inside myself at the voice that's coming from my innocence. Mommy, 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 mommy. And it's screaming mommy over and over and over and over and over. And I look down at it, and I'm like, what the hell's going on? All of a sudden I see this white light beam from my innocence through my head up, way up high. And all of a sudden I look up from inside myself. I'm looking inside myself up in the light, and all of a sudden there's a lady coming down like the fucking Battlestar Galactica. She has no face. She's just white, like white. I don't know, white. She has no face. It's just a human form, like a light being, I guess. I don't know. She's coming down, and and this fucking Archon thing is here, which I didn't know. I thought it was just Jesus. And I felt like I was gonna die when, right before he started screaming mommy, I felt like I was gonna die, like he's gonna pull my soul out again. And all of a sudden she comes down, and wham, right in front of me, she goes, Pritchard! And I'm like, what are you doing? How you doing? She goes, nobody fucks with my babies. And she goes, and she grabs the fucking thing, the bubble fucking Archon Jesus thing, and it's going, it's fucking freak. It just goes fucking apeshit, like right out of its mind, just screaming. And she goes, nobody fucks with my babies. And she's holding it like this. This thing that almost fucking killed me 3 times, portrayed an alien. And then she goes, you know what we do with things like this? I'm like, what do you do? And so I'm like, what? It stopped screaming, mommy, by the way. I'm watching. She goes, you know what we do with things like this? I go, what? She goes, she takes her finger, she opens up a porthole. She draws with her finger a door in the blackness. And then she opens the door and she sticks the nasty in there and lets it go and then closes the door. And I'm like, she goes, that's what we do with things like that. And I'm like, I'm like, you're the queen, you're the fucking shit. And she goes, now. And she goes, don't fucking fuck around. Or I don't know what she said after that. I can't remember. Totally gone. I'm bawling my fucking eyes out. I'm like, literally have the power of this thing. I'm like, who are you? What are you doing? She goes, follow me. And all of a sudden I'm following. I like hug her or something. And we're going up, and we're going up, and we're going up, and we're going up. But actually, I was inside myself, going into my own inner light. Okay? This is going to trip you up. So I'm in looking, my perception is in my inner light. And I'm going up in my inner light, hugging her, and we're both going up. Don't ask me. Don't even ask me, because I don't know how it works, but this is what happened. I get way up in the inner light. She goes, okay, you're going to be here. You're keeping your perception here for just a little while until I send you back down. I'm like, okay. And so I'm in a white world. Everything's white. There's no shadow. No nothing. Everything's white. She goes, you sleep there. She goes, you come here to go to bed every night. And that's it. I'm like, okay. What are you going to do? She goes, don't worry about it. And so that's what I do. Now, she had other people come to wash my body, to wash my soul, or whatever the fuck it was. I don't know. But they washed me with this liquid constantly to heal me up. She goes, you got to wash yourself every time you come up here, before you come up here. So before halfway you get up here, you wash yourself with this water in this fountain or this pond. So I went to this halfway mark when they showed me. Long story. I had to wash myself. And then I could go. And then when I got up there, they were washing me. And that's all they did was keep washing me with this fancy water, this holy water stuff. So hold on, I gotta cut this video.